Hello, we are going to discuss basics of organic chemistry. Generally, it is that GOC, General Organic Chemistry. General Organic Chemistry. How to understand easily this general organic chemistry. So, that we are going to see. So, this is the introduction class of general organic chemistry. So we have to follow this general organic chemistry. If you have strong basics on the general organic chemistry, then you can tackle the different problems present in the organic chemistry. If you see organic chemistry, why people are feeling difficult? Because it has more number of reactions and more concepts are present. Because of that they are feeling it difficult, but when you are strong in the GOC, it is very easy to understand the topics as well. Different type of questions you can tackle easily. So that first we will see general organic chemistry. So first, coming to the carbon, a little introduction regarding carbon. Carbon has a unique nature, that is catenation power. It can make n number of bonds with other carbon atom or with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, like other hetero atoms also. So that's why carbon is making different type of compounds as well, millions of compounds. This is very important. Carbon is making millions of compounds, so that's why we are studying carbon chemistry as organic chemistry. And most of the organic compounds are drugs, are food materials. So in the daily life you are starting with the teeth brush, in that you are using toothpaste, that is also an organic compound. So that's why we have to require to know the organic chemistry. So first of all, what is the necessary is this is the necessary of the study of organic chemistry. Okay, so you see, in any reaction generally substrate or reactant or starting material is present. If you employ reagent on that, it will convert into product. It will not directly convert into product, through an intermediate it will convert, or through an transition state. You can see in the slide here clearly I am written substrate or reactant when employed with a reagent, it will convert into maybe an intermediate, maybe a transition state, then it leads to the formation of the product. So I am written here very simply, but it is not takes place that much simple. It is very difficult to understand also one reaction. So in generally, a reaction contains bond cleavage. Bond cleavage is nothing but bond breaking, because when a reactant want to convert into product, we need to break the bonds and we need to form the new bonds. So bond breakage or bond cleavage, that we have to study. And then I am saying their reagent, what type of reagents we have to employ, that also we have to study. And electronic displacements, this third one is most important. Electronic displacements, the factors which are affecting the stability of the molecules or intermediates, that we are going to see. And then intermediates, what type of intermediates are obtained in the chemical reactions, and types of reactions. So this is very important. Bond cleavage is the first step in a chemical reaction takes place. Then we have to see what type of reagents we are employing, are possible to employ, are present in the organic chemistry, and what type of electronic displacements are playing role to form the which type of intermediate. So that also electronic displacements we are going to see. And then intermediates. What type of intermediates? There are several type of intermediates that we are going to see, and generally there are four types of reaction we are going to study in detail. So one by one we will go. So today the thing is that bond cleavages we will see. In generally there are two types of bond cleavages are present in the organic chemistry. So the one is homolytic bond fusion. You can call it as fusion or cleavage. Is breaking. Generally, it is a breaking, splitting. Homolytic. In the name itself is that homolytic is equal breakage of the bond. So I just give that a covalent bond is broken symmetrically. Symmetrically is nothing but equally, so that one electron of the bonding pair remains with each of the bonded atoms. Let us see. You consider an XY is a molecule, is covalently bonded, and then they are homolytical cleavage takes place. Homolytical is nothing but a bond is nothing but two electrons. That two electrons are equally distributed between the XY bonded atoms, so that you will get X with electron, Y with electron. So these are called free radicals. These are called free radicals. Homolytic cleavage result in the formation of free radicals which are highly reactive. They are highly unstable. You can't trap also, you can't find them also. So they are very reactive, highly reactive. Okay, how to generate the free radicals or how to create the homolytic fusion. So homolytic cleavage generally takes place in presence of ultraviolet light or in presence of peroxides. Peroxide, I will give one example of the benzoyl peroxide. Is that is OO linkage is there, those are called peroxides. They are very unstable, so that we can get the radicals easily. We already discussed in the anti-Markovnikov's rule regarding peroxides. So that peroxides are the radical initiators. So two conditions I am giving that. One is that light, ultraviolet light, or you heat to the elevated temperature, high temperature, more than boiling point, or you can use the radical initiator, so that you will get the free radicals. So free radicals which are highly reactive. But homolytical cleavage is very rare, we will see. These are present in the hydrocarbons only. Alkanes, hydrocarbons is that alkanes, in that only you can see the homolytical cleavage, and it is represented with a fish hook arrow. You can see on the slide is I just given the reaction also. XY they are homolytically cleaving, and then you are getting the free radicals. So is one very less amount it will takes place. Only the things you have to remember here is that homolytical cleavage or symmetrical cleavage, the bond pair electrons are symmetrically distributed between the bonded atoms. That is one. Is it common or is it very less common? Means less common. It is less common. You can see only in the alkanes, hydrocarbons generally. Yeah. Then next, coming to the heterolytic bond cleavage. Heterolytic bond cleavage is nothing but, you can see heterolytic is unsymmetrical distribution. So one of the bonded atom is getting the two bond pair electrons, the other is getting nothing. So that is unequal cleavage, unsymmetrical cleavage, heterolytic cleavage. It is very common. You can see in the many reactions, heterolytic cleavage is takes place generally in many reactions, and you can get the ions, cation or anion in the heterolytic cleavage. So you can see here, let us consider XY is a covalent molecule. So the bond is breaking heterolytically. It will represented with a full headed arrow. You can see here full headed arrow. when it is breaking like this, you will get x minus y plus. X minus is nothing but anion, y plus is nothing but cation. Or you can say, or you can cleave the bond in the opposite direction, x plus y minus, x cation y anion. So that heteronegative cleavage generally results in the ions formation, and it is very common in the organic chemistry. So here one more thing I want to tell you is that homoletical cleavage generally takes place when the bonded atoms are having the equal electronegativity or same electronegativity, same atoms. Between the same atoms, if a bond is there, preferentially it will undergo homoletical cleavage. So carbon, hydrogen are almost are having this same electronegativity, so that hydrocarbons generally undergo homoletical fusion or cleavage. In case of heterolytic, there should be a electronegativity difference, En, electronegativity difference should be present between the bonded atoms, then only heterolytical cleavage takes place or possible. So this is regarding the heterolytic fusion or cleavage. So in generally, a reactant is there, you are employing reagent, so that it is converting into a intermediate or transition state, then that are converting into products. These intermediates, transition states, you cannot isolate. These are, we are writing mechanism, that's all. We cannot isolate the intermediates or transition state. So when reactants are converting into products, we have to break the bond. So generally there are two types of cleavages or breaking of the bond is present in the organic chemistry. One will be homoletical, other will be heterolytic. So this is regarding the bond cleavage. When coming to the reagents, so what type of reagents we can employ on the reactants to convert into products? You can employ a nucleophile or you can employ electrophile depending upon the substrate. So these we will study in the next class, but first thing is that what we are going to studied in this class is that, so bond cleavage, first bond cleavage is taking place when a reactant is converting into product. So bond cleavage, two types present, one will be heterolytic, other will be homolytic. Homolytic symmetric cleavage, heterolytic unsymmetrical cleavage. Okay, so general organic chemistry is very important. Once you are stronger in the GOC, you can understand different types of reactions, as well as when we are going to study alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, alkyl halides, alcohols, carbonyl compounds, carboxylic acids, amines, acid derivatives. In all these chapters, you will get the applications of GOC. So that's why one should stronger in the GOC. That is always helpful in the further study of the organic chemistry. It is very fundamental thing, but it is very essential to understand the different things. So that we will sort out anyhow. So first thing is that I want to tell you is that, so under the whatever the side headings given under the GOC is, you can see here bond cleavage, reagents, electronic displacements, intermediates, types of reactions. Each one we are going to discuss in detail. Is okay? Right.